And I'm Oravita Nisang. Today's highlights: a marine expert suggests more diving sites to be closed to protect coral reefs.
And egg vendors are against the idea of selling egg by the kilogram.
And today's special talk from Kun Suthishai Yun and Kun Tunsatit Thaptim, as the red shirts and the yellow shirts will soon hold back-to-back rallies against the government.
Although they have a common enemy, they don't know what to do after the enemy is eliminated.
A decision to close to tourists more than a dozen of diving sites in 7 national marine parks has received a warm welcome, with a marine watch expert saying that more diving sites should be closed to protect the remaining coral reefs from bleaching. Witayen Mutta-Mara, founder and Secretary General of the 4C Foundation, wrote in his latest article that the measures to close the diving sites in 7 marine parks seemed not to be sufficient, as the reefs in areas other than the 7 parks have been damaged by bleaching. He based his statements on information from divers and local villagers in each area. The information the National Park Department used in its decision to close the 7 parks is not up to date, as the data were gathered in the middle of last year, he said in his article. The department needs to urgently update its information on the scope of damage to the coral reefs caused by bleaching. More than a dozen diving sites in 7 national marine parks will be closed to date for at least a month, as authorities seek ways to arrest coral bleaching, leaving many southern tourism operators fuming. Sutnan Arunnaparat, Director General of the National Parks Wildlife and Plants Conservation Department, said yesterday the whitening is caused by various factors, among them El Nino, chemicals, changes in coastal conditions, and disruptive human activities.
Egg vendors are against the idea of selling eggs by the kilogram, despite the government's belief that this will help reduce the costs. The opposite government and the Commerce Ministry have suggested that eggs will be sold by the kilo rather than by size in order to reduce costs. There was positive feedback to the idea, and it was agreed to sell eggs per kilo on a trial basis from February the 1st in 30 places around Bangkok. However, many eggs vendors are not happy with the plan, claiming that they will encounter complications and difficulties, as eggs are currently selected according to size, with the largest being given the number 0 and the smallest the number 6. Prices differ accordingly. One vendor in Uthai Thani said she couldn't see any difference selling eggs by the kilogram or per egg, with the size of eggs categorized by number. The price of eggs in the market is more expensive than the price set by government. Weighing the eggs by kilo also increases the risk of damaging them. In addition, it will slow down the vendor process, and customers will tend to choose only the big size. Smaller size eggs are likely to remain unsold. It is speculated that the objectives of buyers vary according to the type of consumer. In Thailand, it is common behavior to pick eggs by size rather than by kilo, and those who are on healthy diets tend to pick size 0.
This coming Sunday, we will see red shirt rallies again. And it's interesting that 2 days after that, the yellow shirts will also be holding a rally. They seem to be holding back-to-back rallies with the same purpose, and that is get this government out.
Yes, this is the first time that we are going to see the back-to-back anti-government rallies by this opposing political camp. So it's very interesting. The main question is, everyone has been asking it whether these two groups can eventually converge.
Well, as they say, your enemy's enemy is my friend.
Right, yes, and if you look at the ultimate goals of these two groups, they have the same motivation in mind. That is, opposite government has to be ousted. So if you look at that, of course they can join forces, because when you have an ultimate goal, when you share a common goal, you can work together.
But I think the common complaint they have against APICIT is over the Cambodian issue.
That's the main issue. That's the main complication. Because the yellow shirt or the PAD main objection against this government is that Cambodian policy is very weak.
Yep.
And why this government is so weak against Cambodia is because the government has had to clean up after what has been left by the pro-red government of Kun Samak and Kun Somchai.
You mean this government inherited the Cambodian mess from the red shirt government?
Yes, this is a single questionable issue that we believe that could interrupt any possibility of cooperation between the two camps.
But it could get quite complicated because the yellow shirts have been telling APICIT that don't hold elections too soon. Because the red shirts were pushing for early election, if you remember, before the Cambodian issue came up.
Right.
The yellow shirts were saying, what's the hurry? Why do you have to hold election so soon? The red shirts said, no, do it as soon as possible, next month, if possible. Now, if the two camps, red and yellow, try to put pressure on APICIT to quit, APICIT's option is obviously to call an election, dissolve parliament and call an election. That would not obviously fit in with what the yellow shirts have been asking.
Well, now the yellow shirt may want to, they can't wait to see the back of APICIT. So that means that they can just change their stand on the election date. They can just say, okay, as long as APICIT goes, we are happy about it. So that, I mean, as of now, the red shirts seem to be, okay, you dissolve the house or you go according to parliamentary step. But the yellow shirt have been campaigning against the government, but they did not quite, very vocal about you have to dissolve the house or we need a new election. No, they have never said that. And the yellow shirts, as we know, they have been, advocating some kind of political change that not exactly or not actually involving election.
Well, before this, before the April-May violence, the red shirts were calling for real democracy, if you remember, to bridge the gap between the elite and the poor. But now, the rallying cry in every rally is about the 91 people killed. Democracy is now not the priority.
No, and I think that's a good strategy of the red shirt because if the Democrats, supposing the Democrats win the next election, they will not have this at their rallying cry anymore because APICIT can say, okay, I'm now representing the people and I have the legitimacy. But the only legitimate campaign or rallying cry of the red shirt is justice for the people killed last year.
And now the Sunday rally and the Tuesday rally will be quite interesting in terms of trying to pinpoint what the yellow shirts and the red shirts really want. Because although they have a common enemy, they don't know what to do after the enemy is eliminated.
That's all for now. Thank you for watching.
And please stay tuned with us from Monday through Friday at 10 p.m. on Nation Channel.